Welcome back into another episode of Hefe's World. And if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. But in today's episode, we are getting into D-Generation X. And I know you guys can hear it, so we're going to go ahead and get right into it. This stable debuted in 1997, August of 1997, with Shawn Michaels, Triple H, China, and Shawn Michaels' security blanket insurance policy, Rick Rude. They were the first members of D-Generation X. However, D-Generation X did not officially get their name until October 13th of 1997. A few months later, this group was locked into a feud with the Hart Foundation. Definitely one of the greatest feuds that they had for D-Generation X, that led to a lot of historical events. Um, and D-Generation X got their name pretty much from the promo back and forth on screen between the Hart Foundation and D-Generation X in the back. So from there, they got their name, and things really kicked off up until Shawn actually got really hurt in real life. Triple H would end up kicking Shawn Michaels out of the group after WrestleMania for so-called dropping the ball. But however, in reality, like I said, he suffered a real life back injury that was slated to take him out of the game for a couple years. Hunter would, after Shawn would leave, Hunter would recruit a few new members in X-Pac and the New Age Outlaws, Badass, Billy Gunn, and the Road Dogg, Jesse James. Um, and those guys would take things to a whole new heights, getting dubbed the DX Army, having that whole rivalry in the Monday Night Wars, and pretty much making a lot of history. And it's unfortunate that Shawn Michaels was not there during that time. But however, in a surprise return, he did return for sporadic appearances throughout that time. He even joined up with the corporation that was feuding with D-Generation X in the late 98. So after that feud pretty much went on. There was a point in time where the New Age Outlaws would so-called turn on D-Generation X and join the corporation. However, later that night, it will come to find out that the New Age Outlaws didn't really turn and actually were just trying to get more insider information and ended up turning back on the corporation to go back to D-Generation X. The same thing would pretty much kind of happen towards the end of this feud as well with Shawn Michaels, where Shawn Michaels would so-called rejoin D-Generation X, only for D-Generation X to set up Shawn Michaels to get attacked by the corporation. So that's how that ended up ending instead, which would lead to Shawn Michaels' second hiatus. Hunter and China would eventually end up leaving D-Generation X to join the corporation, which would take Kane out of corporation and leave him high and dry. X-Pac would end up taking him under his wing, and DX was then led by X-Pac, the New Age Outlaws, and Kane as a honorary D-Generation X member under X-Pac's managerial. Um, at the time, Kane didn't really have any direction, so called in WWE. So X-Pac was pretty much dragging him along, and we would eventually get Kane's first words in WWE, which would be "suck it." So that was great to see for sure. But towards the end of 1999, Triple H would assume the leader role after him and X-Pac helped the New Age Outlaws defeat The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin. Tori and Stephanie also had a quick stint in the group as well. When Stephanie was in the group, she did hold the women's title, so that is something to note as well. The group was eventually dissolved by the end of the 2000s, unfortunately. Since then, though, Shawn Michaels and Triple H have reformed the group together for amazing runs in my opinion from '06 to '07, '09 to 10 they had a great run. Their most recent, however, unfortunately was a little bit of a disappointment when they ended up teaming together in Saudi in 2018 to take on the Brothers of Destruction. If anybody watched that match, it wasn't a great watch in my opinion, and it was kind of unfortunate for all four members involved. I I normally would recommend going back and watching things, but I really don't recommend going back and watching that match. That match kind of put a damper on, I feel like, all of their careers. So that is not worth a watch. But I would say if you do want to watch anything from D-Generation X, you can go back to the 90s and watch the beginning, and also '06 to '07. '09 to 10 wasn't too bad either. But that 2018 match, I would definitely stay away from. That in no way, shape, or form gives you the full picture of D-Generation X, or honestly, the Brothers of Destruction. So with that being said, I would definitely, tune into the rest of their stuff, but stay away from this. But for all in all, during the time of D-Generation X, these guys were able to get four WWE championships, four Intercontinental titles, five European titles, two hardcore titles, 10 tag team titles, one women's title, and even inducted into the 2019 WWE Hall of Fame. So these guys definitely had one hell of a faction and definitely withstood the test of times. Um, and in my opinion, one of the best factions WWE ever had to offer. But let me know how you guys feel about that in the comment section below. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe button as well, and I'll see y'all next time. Just remember, this is Hefe's World, and you're just living in it.